Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to another exciting meeting at Toastmasters for Professionals. Here it's all about learning, practicing things in this fail-safe environment and experimenting, implementing these learnings into your professional life. We have an exciting agenda lined up for today. We have Dr. Mary Thomas, who is a keynote speaker, some fun in table topics, and some practical implementation and interview process. Before we start, let me invite the grammarian for today, Toastmaster Nuru, to introduce the word of the day and enlighten us how we can use that in our language usage.
So I am doing the grammarian, and the word of the day is dosti. Dosti is a Hindi and a Urdu word meaning friendship. As your grammarian, my job is to help and encourage to expand our vocabulary by introducing a new word and tracking its use during the meeting. I will also note a good vivid word usage and grammar and also suggest some improvement. I will also give a report at the end of the meeting. And please do use the word of the day, dosti, in your table topics. Thank you. Back to you.
It's a unique word of the day that I've seen so far, introducing the foreign language in practice. And why not, right? Dosti is what Toastmasters stands for. The friendship, the networking that we build in our learning or when we meet each other across the world, just sitting at your home. With that note, let me introduce our speaker for today, keynote speaker, Toastmaster Mary. She's joining today from Philippines. She's a medical doctor and is a technopreneur, an entrepreneur. And I will ask or let her speak more about herself before starting. But before that, she has requested me to share a video that I'm going to share. Professionalism does certainly start at home, right? The way that you treat your family, the way that you treat your friends, the way that you behave with others is going to build up an end of day in your professional life. Let me share this video and see. Toastmaster Mary, the stage is yours.
Professionalism. It starts at home. But every time when we think about professionalism, it has been instilled and inculcated in us that it only happens in the office or in the corporate structure. How misinformed and how an illusion that is, because professionalism actually starts from home. It simply has to start from home. That's our family unit. That's where we start everything. Let me introduce myself and what I'm going to bring to the table today. I'm a medical doctor, as has been introduced by the Toastmaster of the day. I bring with me 40 years of experience as a counselor, starting as a peer-to-peer counselor. And right up till this moment, I counsel individuals, families, married couples, adolescents, you name it, they come my way. Simply because I'm always doing this, and also because I'm a doctor. I just don't prescribe medication. I also talk to my patients because to me, an illness, a dis-ease is mind over matter. Coming back to the topic for today, I would like and urge all of you to have a pen and paper in hand, or at least a phone, because this is going to be an interactive session. I'm going to make you do a little bit of reflection, a little bit of work. Now, when we do this interactive session, I'm going to ask you right now to write down the first thing that comes to your mind about your relationship at home. Is it with your spouse? Is it with your children? Or is it with your in-laws, outlaws, anybody who is your family, and anyone who is living with you at home? Could you please, I'm going to give you 30 seconds, I'm timing this, for you to write down, jot down the first conflict or the first thing that comes to your mind that you want a resolution. Because today we're going to resolve that. 30 seconds starts now. Seconds more. Are we good? Can I start now? All right. Again, I repeat the topic. Professionalism starts at home. This is a very poignant statement because we are looking at the word professionalism. We are also going to look at the word home. What do these two words mean? Because we've never combined these two concepts or these two words together. As I said earlier, it's always about being in the corporate, being at office. Now let's shift that. Let's have a paradigm shift so we can shift the life that we have at home, because as I said, that's where it all starts. Now, let's take a look at what exactly is professionalism. If you look at the first row here, which is in first column, which is in red, competent, efficient, experienced, skillful. Now, all of these refer to what happens in the office. Let's turn this whole bit here to the home. Competent, efficient. Next column, adept. Next column, there. Can you see the first word in the third column? Being there. Next one, able. Knowing one's stuff. The last one on the third column. Next column, third letter, the third words there, on the ball. Proficient, up to speed. Now, if we take these words and bring it to the home, you would see that they actually apply. And when you do, you can see the difference. And I'm going to explain that later on. Let's look at what exactly is unprofessionalism. Green. Okay, we can ignore the word green. Ignorant, incapable, incompetent, inefficient, unable, clumsy. And I like the last one on the third column, stupid. How many times have I heard, and I'm sure each of you would have heard, how stupid you are, coming from a spouse. How stupid, what an idea. Stupidity is that I hear that so often from couples. Unintelligent and stupid, they go together. So that is the exact opposite of what professionalism is all about. And if we can put all of these words I mentioned just now into the part that creates conflicts, problems, anger, rage, as we saw in the video. Did you see how one of the clips where the husband should be was yelling at his wife and the wife was closing her ears? Don't we see this often enough at home? Do you think that is professionalism? Can you do that in your office without getting fired, disciplinary action, and even at times ending up in the police, with the police? But why do we do this when we are at home? Why? What gives us the liberty to behave in this manner at home when we would not even dare to do one of these things in the office? How come? Taken for granted? Nah, she's not going to leave me. Nah, he's just empty words he's just saying. He's not going to do anything. But in the office, whoa, I stand to lose my job. I could lose my career if it becomes a police case, domestic violence. Why are we having this dichotomy? Why are we behaving differently outside? And we are like nasty beings at home. Have you ever thought about that? Well, sometimes couples tell me, oh, well, if I can't be myself at home, then where can I be myself? Ask yourself that question. Is that truly yourself? You mean to say you are that nasty person and you're being yourself at home? And then you're putting up a nice front in front of everyone when you're at work? What kind of hypocrisy is that? When you know your family matters the most. Why does your family matter the most? Do you think if you had a big fight at home, you can actually focus on your work? When you're in the office, time to go back home. You look at your watch. Oh man, 5 o'clock. It's 4 now. In an hour, I've got to get back home. Ugh, I don't want to hear all those words that she says to me. Or if it's the wife, it's, I don't want to hear the stuff he says to me, or the things he does. Flops down onto the sofa, read the newspaper, and that's it. And I'm dumped with all the housework. Why is that? Let's take a look. How can we solve this problem? Let's take a look. I'm going to use the word RISE because we're all Toastmasters and we are familiar with the core values of Toastmasters. RISE. And this will be easy for you to remember. I'm not going to give you anything difficult. It's easy for you to remember. Number 1, respect. How can we respect our spouse? A simple example. My husband is tired. He's come back from work. And he says, you know what? I've had a very tough day at work. Could you just spare me a bit? I just want to lie down for a bit. What would be your response? You two came back from work. You're tired as well. Are you going to say, no, come on. You're supposed to help me. We're going to have a party tomorrow. And I'm tired too. I'm having my periods. Very common excuse. Now, what should be the right thing to do? I want you to write down on your piece of paper, on the problem that you wrote, how can you exercise respect towards your partner or towards your children, whatever it may be? I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Please write down how you can exercise respect in this particular situation that you have jotted down. Remember, you do not have to share this with anyone. This is for you. I just want you to write down 30 seconds. All right, 30 seconds up. Just an explanation, a brief explanation of what respect is: a feeling of deep admiration for someone or something elicited by their abilities, qualities, or achievements. A regard for the feelings, wishes, rights, or traditions of others. Remember, you respect someone because that person elicited that respect. Respect is earned, remember, it is not automatically given to you. It doesn't mean I am the matriarch of the house, everybody has to respect me, but I act like a wicked witch. No, it's not going to happen. Trust me, it's not going to happen. Respect is earned. And same thing, it goes for regard. Regard for the feelings, understanding the feelings and emotions, what that person is trying to tell you. All right, so I hope you've jotted down. Let's move to integrity. The quality of being honest and having strong moral principles, moral uprightness, the state of being whole and undivided. Let's give an example. You are supposed to have, today is your anniversary, and your wife has prepared a romantic dinner for you at home. You are caught with work. You're supposed to be back home at 6 p.m. so she can get all the work or do the work and get it all ready. You know, all the candles, the flowers, the chocolates, whatever it may be. But then you still have work to do. And you're afraid to tell your wife about it. Well, you could be chucked into the kennel, dog kennel, if that happens. What are you going to do? Are you going to tell her the truth? Or are you just going to make some excuses, hoping to get away with it? Where is your moral integrity? Always tell the truth. Look at the third point there, the state of being whole and undivided. When you're married with your spouse, when you're married, or even if you're living in, your partner is one with you. If you can think that way, both of you are undivided, one and the same. You would want to tell the truth, just like how you would want your partner to tell you the truth. Reciprocate. That's a mantra, actually. All right, I'm going to give you another 30 seconds to write down what you could add in terms of morality, principles, uprightness, integrity, undivided union into that situation that you wrote. 30 seconds. All right, good to go. Next, let's go for service. What does service mean? The action of helping or doing work for someone, an act of helpful activity. Service is something that you do with the thought that you are helping another human being. And in this case, it's going to be your spouse, it's going to be your children, it could be your mother-in-law, it could be your own mother, your parents. To do someone a favor. You come back home, your wife is tired. She's had a hard day at work. And she says, honey, can you just wash the dishes? I'm just kind of tired. I'll just get up later and prepare the meal. Just wash the dishes for me. Wouldn't that serve the purpose for the family? Do you think this work that you do is something that is, why should I do it? Why do I have to wash the dishes? You're supposed to wash the dishes. Get up and just do it. Why don't you show service to your family? Washing the dishes, doing the laundry. Why not? You're doing it for not just you're not just a person just doing something. You're doing it for your family. Isn't your family important to you? You're not doing it for her. You're not doing it for your wife because you're angry with her and you don't want to do it. You're doing it for your family. When you clean your house, you help it's not helping your wife clean the house. You are cleaning your own house. For Pete's sake, don't you want to live in a clean house? All right. Now, 30 seconds. How can you provide service for another individual to make your life comfortable in your own home? 30 seconds for that. Right. Let's move to the last one. Excellence. We have been ingrained again with the idea that excellence means everything is done in perfection. No, we are human beings. It's impossible that we can do everything in perfection. I mean, that's even an understatement. When we do something in excellence, it also means that the quality of what we do is extremely good. That we have an outstanding feature, we have an outstanding character, an outstanding personality that we can share in the family. Maybe my strengths is budgeting, finances. A lot of couples, in fact, in most countries, the number one reason for divorce is money. And maybe my outstanding quality, my outstanding feature is I'm very good at budgeting. I was an accountant prior to becoming a doctor. So I know what it's like to manage budgets. And that's my strength. Managing the money for the family. Managing my character. Managing myself. I don't need someone else to tell me that, hey, have you had your dinner? Have you had your lunch? No. I can manage it myself. It's one of my good characters. I don't nag at anybody. So what outstanding character, what is an outstanding personality that you have that you can bring to the table at home? Another 30 seconds. All right. I'm hoping, in fact, I do know that anyone who has done this appropriately would be able to find some solutions by putting together rice. Let me tell you, whenever you want to start something that doesn't seem very positive and is going to start a fight, it's going to start a quarrel, an argument, or you're going to pin someone down, remember, the family you have is the only family you have. Always remember that. I will now take on any questions that you may have before we close the session. I would totally appreciate if you have some questions for me.
Yes, Mary, I have a question. I'm from Arizona, Chandler, and my question to you is, I had never ever thought about taking professionalism into our homes. Just like you said, home is a place where we do whatever we want to do. And we behave the way we want to behave. We dress the way we dress. So I live with somebody, and he is a very professional man outside. And when he is in the house, it's a total different chapter. And when I met him, I thought he would be always like that at what I saw him at work. And when I started living with him, it was a total chaos. And so we parted. We couldn't deal with the home environment. And at work, we were perfect. So the thing is that in the bathroom, the toothpaste was left open, the brush was flying everywhere, the water was sprinkled. it's two different things at work and in your house. And how do you make it match with the person that you're going to marry is very difficult.
May I give you the answer to that one?
Sure.
Yes. All right. What you have described now is a very typical situation in most marriages, even live-in, whatever it may be. Now we have something of what we call narcissistic personality disorder. It is actually a new DSM in psychiatry. Now, narcissistic personality disorders are people who behave in exactly the same way that you mentioned. I must also appreciate your honesty in bringing this matter up, because it's really a huge issue right now. Because people put up a nice front outside and they're totally opposite at home. They're very nasty people.
Yes.
The thing is that they think no end of themselves. They think they are the lord of it all. And then the partner becomes the victim. This is a very, Toastmaster Nuru, if you want to actually further speak with me, by all means, I would like to discuss this with you. Because over this forum, we only have limited time. But I can tell you, you're not alone. You're not alone. And in most cases, the marriages would end up in a divorce because it totally destroys the person. I'm not joking. It totally takes the person, the victim, let's just call him the victim, him or her, into another place that they never expected to be. The solution to that is like I said, it's something that's very, very long and needs some discussion. I would
So
totally happy.
I just had one question. So we have parted, but we have become friends, but we cannot do anything together.
Yes.
Is that the solution?
Yes. The thing at the end of the
because
day,
it's a big mental drain.
Yes. And we don't want to see anyone in that state. We have a right to live a peaceful, happy, validated, accepted life. Not one where you're put down all the time, you're told that you are wrong, you said, oh, come on, you're making this into a big thing. No, it's not a big thing. We need to be validated. We are humans, we have emotions. Nuru, you're most welcome to chat with me.
Thank you.
Yes, I'll give you my contact number. And
thank you.
And I do everything complimentary. I don't charge anyone for anything. All right, another question. Yes.
Wonderful. So Pramod has a question, and
yeah,
we can end with that. Thank you.
Are we on time? Can I ask the question?
Sure. I will give you.
We are not on time, but yeah, I'm giving.
Thank you. Hi, Dr. Medi. My question is, we normally associate the word professionalism with a formal kind of behavior. But if we follow this formal kind of behavior inside our home, don't you think it will destroy the warmth and the happiness or the kind of relationship we share with our spouse and with our children? How can we be so formal inside our home?
All right. Thank you for your question. Remember, that's what I mentioned in the early part. We think that professionalism means we have to be very formal. We have to be, almost like, stuck in a box kind of situation. No, I gave you the different types and the meanings and interpretations of the word professionalism. Now, if you say that by being unprofessional, you can find your happiness, I would really love to know how you do that. Tell me, how can you be rude to your partner and be happy? Tell me how you can shout at your children and tick them off and put them down and know that your children are happy. So remember, we are looking for a few things. We're living with different people, with different personalities, emotions. We are trying to blend together, ultimately to be happy, to feel that warmth. You asked for warmth, right, just now? You think you're going to feel warm if your wife just chucks the plate of food on the table? I'm sorry, I was about to use an expletive. What the? Do you know how many times couples tell me that in front of me? Whoa. And I know there's rage and anger. F word is just a little bit, like what the wives will tell me. Mary, you haven't heard the rest. So try to understand the meaning of happiness. What is happiness to you? Someone shouting at you? I don't think so. What is peace to you? Someone telling you off all the time? Hey, what are you doing? Hey, why is this? Hey, why is that? So understand the meaning of happiness, peace. This needs reflection. What is your idea of a happy family life? Okay. If you need anything, please communicate with me anytime. All right. We have one more question. Toastmaster or guest, Ramakrishna.
Ramakrishna.
Hi, hi. As it is a common problem for all the family members in any family, can you please share the number in this wider audience so that everybody who is actually having the problems can reach out to you directly?
Oh, sure.
Not the number,
sure.
but the email, Mary.
Okay. I'm actually, okay, either way, I'm good with phone number as well, because my patients always communicate. I do telemedicine, so my patients communicate with me on WhatsApp, not so much on email.
Yeah.
So no problem, Raghu. I can give my both
Sure.
email and sync. I'll certainly answer you. And I really hope to see happy families. Really, remember, your family is the only one that you have. The final video, is a depiction of happy families.
Okay, let me share. Thank you very much, Dr. Mary Thomas, for such a wonderful presentation today and enlightening us that professionalism is not something to be compromised at home too. It must start at home. Can we have a big round of applause for Dr. Mary? Now it's time for some fun with our table topics. That's something that keeps us on toes, prepares for those impromptu moments in life, improving our critical thinking. Let me invite the table topic master for today, Toastmaster Rishikesh. Rishikesh, the stage is yours, and we have time for around 2 to 3 topics only. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, DTM Raghu. Table topic session helps the speaker to improve or practice their impromptu speaking skills. Every speaker will get time to deliver their speech in the time frame of 1 to 2 minutes. Now I need some volunteers for this session. My first question goes to our speaker, Toastmaster Mary, what advice you will give to the working mothers?
What advice? Table topic master.
Yeah.
Most of us are now working mothers. The advice I would give is to take on equal responsibilities. Of course, the general rule is that a woman cooks, cleans, takes care of the children, and the husband goes out to work and provides for the family. That whole thing has had a shift. There is a shift now in humanity where both parties go out to work. When you both go out to work, go out and contribute, obviously it has to be an equal contribution at home. So if the wife has to cook when she comes back, then the husband helps her with cleaning the dishes. If the wife has to sweep the house, then the husband should help in mopping the house, for example, or clearing up stuff in the house. It's an equal partnership. We have reached that stage. It is no longer just provide, the guy just provides and the woman just takes care of the home. That, in fact, in the sustainable goals of the United Nations, it's an equal partnership from here on. In fact, those women who don't go to work, they are expected to be paid a salary from 2025, if I'm not mistaken. Therefore, it's all about compromise. Remember, I said earlier, a husband and wife are not divided. They are in union. So they're not just in union in bed or procreation, producing children. They are also in union with everything else that happens at home. This is a very, very huge topic. And there is some deeper thoughts from thought leaders on this topic. Therefore, I can only say this, it's always an equal partnership. It's a union. Work together. Back to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Mary, for advice to working mothers. Now, my second topic goes to Toastmaster Venu. Are you ready?
Yes.
Yes. The topic for Toastmaster Venu is that you have to convince your manager that how Toastmasters is good for the organization.
Thank you, Toastmaster and Table Topic Master Rishikesh Gokhale. This is a very common scenario what we encounter in the professional environment. How does Toastmaster help you? We have had several workshops to individual teams where we show and explain what Toastmaster can bring to the table. The first is by having the courage to step forward and stretch yourself, you can become a very good communicator and a public speaker. Thereby, within the team, you have a very good communication skills, and the team building exercise automatically increases there. The second, all we always do is the courage. If someone has to do some customer presentations, they can go straight in there with a awesome presentation, and they can give presentation and they can excel in that. That not only increases the confidence of the person who is actually giving the presentation, but also increases the credibility of the whole team and also increases the visibility of the team. That's why we always go in front of the team with these two goals, and we almost had about 70% success to convince the managers to send at least one person to the club meetings. Back to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you. Now my third topic goes to Pramod. Pramod is launching one startup and he has to pitch the startup to Raghu, who is an investor. So he has to convince Raghu to do investment in your startup.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Toastmasters and my dear guests. I'm going to start a company which will provide you free services. What I am good at? I am good at listening, the skill which I learned from Toastmasters. Here, like Mary said, everybody has problems. You have problem at your work. You are seeing unprofessional attitude from your spouse at your home, and you have problem with your neighbor. But what actually creates is not the problem. It is the way you respond to these problems. But if you can stop for a minute and you can vent out, or you can talk to somebody about your problem, then there won't be any problem further. So that will affect your mental well-being. I, being a banker, have been listening to the problem of many people for more than 2 decades. And I've decided to start something where people can come and talk about their problems and get relief. And you don't have to pay anything. The only thing you need to do is just log into my application, register for it, pick a time slot, and speak to me. And I am here ready to listen to your problem. I may not be having a solution for your problem, but I do believe that when you talk about your problem, at the end, you would be able to understand, you will be able to calm down and take a decision about what needs to be done or how to respond to this problem. If it is severe, then you can talk to professionals like Mary or somebody else. Otherwise, I believe most of our problems will go away when we talk about it in a calm and composed atmosphere. So this is a startup, and I'm sure that many people, at least the Toastmasters community, will make use of this noble venture. Back to you, table topic master Rishikesh.
Thank you. With the interest of time, I would like to conclude the table topic session and hand over control back to our Toastmaster of the day. Over to you, Raghu.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for such a wonderful session in table topics and intriguing topics too. Now it's time to practice our learning to put into professional life, and that is by doing this wonderful project from Pathway, where you prepare for an actual interview. Today's Toastmaster Rohan Bansal is preparing for his interview in a managing school. And he's going to be interviewed by Toastmaster Ashvin. I'm going to spotlight both of them. Before I Sarika, do you want to give speech objectives?
I definitely can do that. Thank you. The purpose of this project is for Rohan to practice the skills needed to present himself well in an interview. I will be looking how effectively he answered questions. Did he maintain his poise? Was he concise to his questions and his ability to recover from ineffective answers? Thank you, Raghu. Back to you, gentlemen.
Ashwin, will you be able to time, or do you need
Oh
help?
yeah, I could time. That's
wonderful.
Good.
Thank you. The stage is yours.
Hi, Rohan. How are you doing today?
Ashwin, I'm doing good. How are you?
Excellent. Hey, thank you for being here. As you know, my name is Ashvin. I'll be your interviewer today, and I'm going to ask you some series of questions, and there's no right or wrong answer to it. Answer them to your best of your ability. Are you ready?
Absolutely. Great to be here. Excited. Thank you.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. So tell me about yourself.
Absolutely. So, hi Ashwin, I'm Rohan. For the past 4 years, I have had a chance to create impact in India's renewable energy and electric mobility sectors. in my role at Industrial AI. So at Industrial AI, through commercialization of technology as well as private equity investments, I have been able to drive change both through infusion of capital and through scaling of innovative technologies in this space. And
Looks like we have a little technical glitch. I think we lost Rohan. That's probably the quickest interview I ever had.
Okay,
See if we
we'll
go-
pause it for a while and then wait for Rohan to join back.
Okay.
Meanwhile, let's continue with the meeting feedback. Well, everywhere else in the life, you get judged. Okay, is Rohan back? It is in Toastmaster that people give you right feedback, where and how to exactly to improve in your speaking skills or in whatever you're doing, attempting the project, etc. I will invite DTM Susan to evaluate speech by the professional speech that is given by Toastmaster Mary. While Rohan is fixing his video and mic, let us.
Rohan is back.
Rohan, are you comfortable going ahead?
am I audible right now?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. Sorry about that.
No problem. I'll not spotlight you both. You can just go ahead.
Okay.
Hi, apologies, Ashwin. My internet connection has been a bit slow. So should
Oh,
I
that's
continue?
not a problem. I'm glad you're back. I'm glad I thought I lost you. I think I lost you. Oh, there you are. Okay. I'm glad you're back. Okay. So, again, tell me about yourself. I want to get to know you. So tell me about yourself.
Absolutely. So hi, Ashwin, I'm Rohan. For the past 4 years, I've been working as a strategy manager at Industrial AI, where through commercialization of technology and private equity investments, I have been able to drive change in the electric mobility sector in India. And very excited to take this forward in my MBA and learn more academic skill sets as well as experiential learning opportunities to drive further impact as a senior leadership role post the MBA. Prior to this, I had a travel tech venture called Trip Dukan, where I was an entrepreneur, founder, and led the company for 3 years prior to this. And I started off my career in 2013 with an investment banking role in Citigroup's investment banking team in Mumbai. So over the past 10 years, I've had experience across diverse fields and led teams across multicultural roles in my time here. Outside of work, I actively mentor young student entrepreneurs in my role as a business coach with the government of Delhi. And I'm also a public speaker at Toastmasters as well as a podcaster. And very excited to take this journey ahead with an MBA and learn more experiential learning opportunities and leadership skills to advance in my role.
Thank you, Ron. It says I'm looking at your resume and there's a lot of jobs that you had, but there's also some leadership and community involvement. Tell me what you really liked about volunteering.
I think I've had volunteering experiences across multiple avenues. So one leadership opportunity that I've gotten is in my role as venture partner with our ventures, where I've had the opportunity to mentor and advise entrepreneurs in the very early stage of their startups and helping them scale their startups and also fundraise. So that has been a very exciting journey in learning more about these entrepreneurs and their perspectives towards business. And that has been a good learning opportunity for me as well. On the other side, I have been a volunteer for Child Rights in You, which is an organization that promotes education, health, and sanitation for underprivileged communities in India. And working on the grassroots level and actually helping these communities level up their health, sanitation, and education has been a great experience for me in terms of how we can drive change through impact at the grassroots level. So whether it be grooming young children in grades 3 to 5 to pursue formal education, because these kids have been taken off formal education at a very early stage to work in the families. So I think learning about that and understanding diverse communities and how they function is something that has been a good learning opportunity for me. And of course, there's Toastmasters, where I have had leadership opportunities since January of 2020. And currently, I'm the area director for Founders District in Toastmasters in the US. So I've had various opportunities to learn and grow and become a leader through these extracurricular opportunities.
So why do you want to earn a graduate degree, Rohan?
So Ashwin, there are two reasons why I want to get a graduate degree. First is an MBA will give me the chance to learn academic skill sets that are relevant to the sustainability and electric mobility field, and also give me the chance to practice these skills in a risk-free environment through experiential learning opportunities, whether it be going to other countries to learn how energy markets function, or understanding how electric mobility works beyond India. Because right now my perspective is largely limited to India's energy and electric mobility sectors. And MBA will give me the opportunity to broaden my perspective and take it forward. Secondly, because I want to build a role in senior leadership post the MBA, I think the MBA, through club activities, through group collaborations, and through leading events across experiential learning and clubs, this will give me a chance to hone my leadership style, refine my understanding of what leadership means, and also practice it in a collaborative environment. So I think the MBA will give me the academic skill sets, experiential learning, as well as leadership opportunities to really grow and groom as a leader going forward.
Thank you, Ron. And I know for the interest of time, I have one last question is, do you have any questions for me?
Absolutely. So I wanted to understand, given that you are an alumni of this particular school, what has been your experience in how you engage with the school post the MBA?
Oh, we have a great alumni list and roster. We have meetings. We encourage even our alumni to get involved in our program to help improve it, to make sure that we are doing what we are, for our students. It is a rigorous program, and we do admit, just a few. So we want to make sure that this interview process for all the candidates are, that what is it that they want? Is this something they want to check off, or is this something that they could come back and give to society too after their MBA program too? So, and we have a big list of alumni that you could use the resources for too. So
great. Thank you so much, Ashwin. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you for your time, Rohan.
Thanks so much, Ashwin. Great speaking to you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for that project, Toastmaster Rohan and Toastmaster Avinash. Now it's time to delve into the feedback of the meeting that we have done so far. Let me invite DTM Susan to give feedback on Toastmaster Mary's professional speech. Over to you, Susan.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and especially Mary. What a wonderful job you did. For everyone else's experience, Mary requested a short meeting with me before we started, just a few days ago, just to know what she would be looking for. And that gave me a great opportunity to know what I could do to help her on her journey. Now, first off, you are a professional. You introduced yourself with the 40 years of experience peer-to-peer, so you had the credibility immediately, and you delivered. I'd like to commend you for a very well-organized presentation with some very strong highlights that I'm going to share. First, your vocabulary is exemplary. I dare say I don't hear such words in most speeches most days. I'll only hit upon a few, but you talked about being inculcated, meaning ingrained in us, poignant, the paradigm shift, the dichotomy, the reciprocity, and the hypocrisy, and elicited, and being whole and undivided. Those really conjured up for me the essence of what you were talking about. You told us what you were going to tell us, the 4 sessions of the RISE elements, which are the Toastmasters values, core values. You then went on to give examples of each one of those 4 and clearly explain them to us. I'd like to commend you also for the beautiful smile that you had on your face, because especially when you were handling the questions, I saw that confidence elevate beyond words. You were there and you were going to help, and we knew you were going to be successful in doing so. In handling the question, I'd like to commend you on the 3rd question about why being so formal. And you turned it around with a few more questions. It wasn't about being formal, but kind and respectful and professional, not stuffy, that you just really turned it around and with great respect towards the speaker. I thought that your pace was good. I thought you used pauses effectively, and you used your vocal variety in a very strong way, where you came louder and you emphasized certain words, and then you gave pauses after saying one that you really needed us to listen and pay attention to. The slides were very effective, colorful, kept our interest. One opportunity for you to improve upon is when you were referring to the words in the 3rd column or the 4th column, maybe using your mouse to go over and highlight or point to it might have helped the audience know exactly where you were going with that. The second thing is your gestures. I know you were making them, but they were below the visibility for a lot of the parts. You were down here, and the suggestion would be to sit back just a little bit or turn the camera just a touch. So when you use those physical gestures, we're able to see them and enjoy it. I thought there's so much more that I'm going to share with you on your written evaluation. I see that I'm at red, so I'll have to relay that to you. I thought you also had a great sense of humor when you talked about the in-laws and the outlaws. And then you also mentioned about being chucked into the kennel. Those conjured up some pretty good pictures and showed how real you are with this and how experienced. I'm going to share with you so much more of the wonderful job that you did on this speech. It is my pleasure to have been part of it. I'm sorry for going over, but it was so good. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Both the speech and evaluation were just like not enough. The nectar is all never enough. Thank you. Given the feedback form for the meeting for the guests to fill the form, please take 1 minute of your time to fill the form to help us improve. And also get your intent if you're interested in this club. It's time to get the feedback on the interview that is conducted by Toastmaster Ashvin and taken by Rohan. Let me invite one and only Sarika Shamla to evaluate the interview project. Over to you, Sarika.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raghunatha Raju. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and good morning for those who are joining us from the other side of the world, fellow Toastmasters and most honorable guest. Thank you, Ashvin and Rohan, for conducting this project. This interview was an interview of our dreams, which we don't see in real life. Thank you. You did it well. I will go over the feedback about Rohan because this project is more pertaining to Rohan. I will go over my feedback will be specific to Rohan's responses towards Ashwin's question. Rohan, I saw your smile and the warmth. I felt the warmth and the comfort that you brought to the interview. When you closed with the question about the alumni, you continued bringing that warmth, which made me feel that I wanted you on my team. Even when you had a technical glitch, you came back with the same warmth and comfort. That was well done. That's a great recovery. I also heard how interested you were in your experiences that you have collected, technical experiences, your volunteering experiences, and you briefly mentioned podcast. One thing I didn't feel in my heart is the passion. You had a lot of experience, and Ashvin could read all that in your resume or CV, as you call it. But there's something why you, even when the question was asked, why do you want to be on this MBA program? I would have loved to see that passion come from you. I believe it was there, but the sentences were long. I would have answered this question in the part of threes, which would have kept it concise, which would have helped me say, for example, and help me prove the point that I'm passionate. For example, I felt you were passionate about the child welfare and how you wanted to have the experiences around the world. Maybe that's all the only thing you needed to specify, and you could have closed that. If when we non-native English speakers speak, we run at the mile of a bullet train. We just have to slow down, learn to pick the sentences that are important for this question, and just say those. Overall, I thought it was a great interview. You aced it. I would give you the MBA program. My favorite part was your question, the comfort you brought to the question when about asking about the alumni. Most interviewees are like, oh, what do you like about the job? You don't feel that comfort. I felt it. If you could make your sentences a little concise, use the part of threes, that would help you, and reduce the speed. You aced the interview. You got the job. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Sarika. Now it's time for meeting evaluations. Now let me invite the English teacher of the day, which is what I call the grammarian in the room, Toastmaster Nuru, my dose from other part of the world, to
Thank
talk
you,
about how we
Raghu.
have been doing on the word of the day and the language.
Thank you. I think I'm not kind of little clear because my telephone lost its power. So I just had to hook it and reposition it. But as a grammarian, I thought everybody did an excellent job. Mary, the words she used, I don't think I have heard so many times. And she did a very good job in her speech. But I did not hear anybody use the word of the day, dosti, in any table topics. All the three consistents who talked about table topics, I did not hear the word dosti as that was the word of the day. So they all three don't qualify. And I think overall, everybody did good. In the interview part, I heard Rohan use a lot of ahs and ands and ands. And just like the evaluator said, he needs to slow down in his way of talking and, be precise what he wants to tell the interviewer. Overall, I think the meeting went perfect. It was good. And I'm glad to be here with you guys. Back to you.
Thank you, Nuru. Just not just popping up, but also taking the role on the spot for a grammarian, helping us today. Now let
Thank
me
you.
invite the R counter for today, Toastmaster Vamsi, to give an R counter report.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raghu. As a counter, I didn't find out the clutch and filler words from the speakers. I noted down for the Rohan used for 2 times and short and long pauses, and Ashvin is 2 short pauses. Other than that, I didn't find out any clutch or filler words used by the speakers. Yeah, thank you.
Thank
Over
you
to
very much, Vamsi, for that concise report. Let me invite the timer for today, Toastmaster Ashvin, to see how we are doing on the time part.
Thank you, DTM Raghu. All right, Mary, your speech was 29 minutes and 22 seconds. Thank you for giving that speech. Very informative. Our interview, Rohan and interview was 7 minutes. For table topics, Mary, 2 minutes and 3 seconds. Vinu, 1 minute and 52 seconds. Pramod, 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Susan, your evaluation was 4 minutes and 3. Yes, it's a speech. I love it. Thank you. No, just kidding. Sarika, your evaluation was 3 minutes and 14 seconds. Yes. And
Wonderful.
That's it. Back to you. Thank you.
Sarika is saying, I made it on time. Okay. That is the importance of time and the discipline that we follow in Toastmasters. I've seen so many managers and so many leaders who just call for a meeting and then that meeting never ends. Sometimes it extends for hours and minutes. The discipline that I've learned, at least let me complete my sessions or my meetings in time, and that has helped a lot me and also the team that I'm working with. I'm sure this will certainly help you too in your professional life. Now I adjourn the meeting here and I call the guest here and the visiting Toastmaster for your feedback about the meeting. And also please take 1 minute to fill the feedback form that I've there. There are about 23 people in the room right now. We were 28 at max hour. But I just have 5 people who have entered the feedback. Please take some time. And meanwhile, can somebody share the feedback? Pramod, I'll start with you.
Thank you, Raghu. It was a nice meeting. It's been a long time since I attended a meeting. I think it's more than a year since I attended a meeting. Currently, I'm not a Toastmaster. I have not renewed my membership because of obvious reasons. But the decision to come back to Toastmasters after a year was a thoughtful decision. I think, and I was waiting for a good club to join, and I'm pretty sure that whatever I'm looking for, I got it. So thanks for the invitation. Thanks for the opportunity, and thanks for the people, all supportive people. I'm looking forward to have more such beautiful meetings ahead. Back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Pramod. And we have another doctor, Dr. Stephen Pue, who has joined today. Stephen, do you want to give your feedback?
Sure. Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Raghu. This is my first meeting here, and I really appreciate everyone, welcoming, creating a very welcoming environment. And also, I feel the level of professionalism, the environment that we can learn and grow, not only in the professional arena, but also learn and grow in the individual, personal aspect as well. So, and also, Dr. Mary, I really appreciate your presentation, and I learned a lot. And I think today I am becoming a better person because I know what I will be applying, some of the knowledge I learned today from you, and also the feedback that I hear from all of you here. So really appreciate everyone here for giving me the opportunity. And thank you, Raghu, for the invitation.
Thank you, doctor. Let me ask Raghuram. Raghuram, can I have your feedback about the meeting?
Hope I'm visible now.
You're visible and audible both.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing.
You can keep it short, Raghu.
People will get confused.
You're not audible, Raghu.
Okay.
Is it just me?
But I wanted to.
The voice is coming in and out.
Voice is not coming.
Oh, my voice is not coming.
Now it's coming.
Okay, I think I need to come little forward. Okay, what I was saying, I just wanted to say thank you so much for Dr. Mary Thomas for the wonderful speech. Definitely, I would like to implement some of them in my daily life, which will help me and my family. Thank you so much. And yeah, and even the other interviews with Rohan and the questions were really, really good, and he handled it well. And the evaluation was also wonderful from Susan and Sarika. I think I got to know what I can get from these meetings. So thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Raghu. Looking forward to have second Raghu in this club so that we can be a
Sure.
Raghu Square. Thank you. Let me ask my friend who is joining from Nigeria in the wee hours, Marvelous Amo, about his feedback on the meeting. Amo, you there? Okay, no problem. Miras, I think you were there from the beginning of the. She joined 15 minutes early in the meeting. In the big achievement. Mira, can I have your feedback? Oh, you're in office, not able to talk.
Yes.
Okay, no
So I'll
problem.
reach office. I will join after, but it was good session. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Nuru, joining from Arizona.
I thought it was a very interesting club. The format is very different because I guess it's for the professionalism. The club that I am is totally different. I thank you for having me, and I'll be joining more of your sessions. Thank you.
Sure, Nuru, keep joining, keep learning, keep growing. Jolinda. No problem. Subbu,
Yeah, hi Raghu.
can I have your feedback?
Yes, I have enjoyed the session thoroughly from the Dr. Mary's speech to till the Dr. Susan's evaluation. So I have been writing my evaluation and all. I was seeing Mary's speech and all, and I somehow felt like such sessions are definitely required once in a while for everyone. And I will definitely get in touch with her. And overall the meet has been very completely organized, and I think something which I've been looking for since a long time. So I will definitely get in touch with you after the meet, Raghu.
Sure, thank you, Subbu. Raju Boya.
Hi Raju, thank you for the opportunity. Yeah, it's very good meeting, I can say. The flow was pretty well. Even though I missed like a few minutes because of my work, but I definitely thank you to Mary Thomas for bringing such a nice topic. Really, I learned a lot. Thank you for that, Thomas. And yeah, overall meeting was went so well, and I'm looking forward to meeting you guys more. And thank you. And one small suggestion from my end, see when you see any guest, initially maybe it would be more good if you ask them their intro so that people could know the details of the guest. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, thank you so much.
True, thank you, Raju. We talked to the guests whoever joined at the meeting starting time, but others we couldn't because in the interest of the agenda that we had. But we'll take that feedback and work on it. Thank you. Ramakrishna.
Hello, everyone. It was a wonderful session by Dr. Mary Thomas, and I was under a different. When I joined this meeting, I had a different expectation, but when I had like gone through the session, especially with the Mary Thomas, and see your doctor presenting in the Toastmasters session, and then explaining professionally about the professionalism both at the office and at the work and at the home. It was very good to know about that. Though we follow the most of actually it lies between two partners. Like it's not with only one partner knowing all the things. It should be the two partners who should be involved in these sessions to understand that if only one is good and other one is not good, the outcome will not be good. So if both are there, yeah, I know the outcome will be very good. And coming to the interview, I was under the shock actually. Is Rohan really at that level? Is he very good at the India level? He's representing national level and telling about the country. He was showing experience as a manager and everything, right? And I was shocked to know. I was under the assumption, is he really holding that background and still in a Toastmaster? and still trying to learn. But the each and everyone in this group is very wonderful. Good to know each and everyone. Thanks, Ashwin sir.
Thank you, Ramakrishna. Yes, Rohan is going to attempt his IIM interview, and that's what he's practicing here.
Oh, okay.
Thank you very much for that feedback. Venu, can I have your feedback?
Thank you so much, Raghu, for asking for the feedback. It's a very wonderful session. I see a lot of professional evaluations, a lot of professional speeches, especially Dr. Mary Thomas, and the way she conducted the workshop is very professional and it's very useful as well. Overall, I love this club, and I will probably join whenever I can. From my other clubs, if I have to visit other clubs, I probably won't be able to. Otherwise, I'm planning to join this club, because this club, the difference with this club and others is this club has a lot of variety. So people from all walks of life, people from all professions are part of this club. That's where the most learnings you can do. That's where the most learnings can happen. So it really helps me to grow in a different dimension. I'm looking forward for that. Thank you so much for inviting, Raghu.
Well, wonderful. Thank you, Toastmaster Venu. And Venu happens to be an area director in District 101 for Area C5. Thanks for visiting us today, Venu. Sarika.
I think it was a very well conducted meeting. I really loved Dr. Mary Thomas's presentation. I love Susan's detailed evaluation. And Raghu and Raghunatha and Ashvin are the masters of their craft, and they did a great MC of the show, both as an interviewer and as multitasking timer and putting the show together. Thank you for a well-organized, well-executed show. I really admire it. Thank you.